Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Second video of Monday. This one is kind of a mixture of things, but it brings around the same topic. And the main topic is hoarding stuff for the future, hoarding resources. And especially in light of like what's happened in the last week. And let's face it, and if you don't know from like a while ago, Kabam did say they weren't going to be doing the December like Awakening Gem trade-in store. I want to look at the topic of kind of like hoping for the return of events as well. So everything kind of comes into one kind of like big coverage. If you're a free-to-play player in Marvel Contest of Champions, and any player in general, you are preppers, you are planners. Whether or not you're planning a roster to take on some piece of content, whether or not you're prepping resources, items for things like, you know, stores, saving loyalty for rank 4 materials in the loyalty store. If you are saving incursion artifacts, things like the incursion store, you are saving resources for a particular reason. Like for me, I'm saving units at the moment for Cyber Weekend deals, especially because now I know that there's going to be no gold offers, there's going to be no Awakening Gem trade-in offers, there's not going to be those particular things, or there's no guaranteed chance that they will return, or at least it's very unlikely. One of the several points I had, like a lot of criticisms that were kind of waved my direction, was that I shouldn't have a right to be disappointed about these particular deals not returning, and Kabam don't owe us to these to return. And which I do agree with that particular point, but at the same time, there's a lot of, well, discrepancies to that particular point. The particular point that I was making towards a particular like coverage of this is that it is a shame not to see these particular positively received community events return back. The same way over the last, say, 2 years plus, there's events that, you know, the community loved, but they haven't seen come back in any shape or form, or any kind of variations of that either were good for those that were, you know, non-spending or just fun. And that's the thing. Fun. And those particular fun events could be the likes of Mutant Treasure Island, Epoch Shards, Gold Offers, which we know about, potential Awakening Gem, Feeling Green event, Celebrity Challenges, and any side quest that's kind of like, you know, a bit different than that, like Cosmic Horror, picking a side type narrative similar to Baron's War, or that kind of Civil War month back a long time ago, Rocket Scrapyard, and a whole host of different types of events. Now, one of the things I have like learned a lot about this game over the last 7 years is regularity. Alliance quest drops regularly at a certain kind of intervals of 5 days. Alliance Wars, similar vein, that it starts, we do a war on a Saturday, we do a war on, I think it's, is it Monday or something? In any case, there's, when it starts and finishes with things like wars, they kind of like, it's a normal kind of sequence. The same thing when it comes to like Cyber Weekend is always on Black Friday, it drops, and then it goes to Cyber Weekend, which is the Friday to the Saturday. The same way that July 4th deals kind of drop at certain points. We also have the Legends event every August. We used to have the gifting event drop in December. And also we've got the anniversary for the game that drops on the 14th of December. There's regularities that players like. I may be a case, I'm not speaking for everybody on this one, but I personally like regularity because I'm able to plan stuff with my account and roster based on what's dropping at what given times and points. The same way that Arenas drops on certain days of the week, and I can plan my grind around those particular things, including weekends as well. So there's a lot of stuff when it comes to regularity, prepping your roster, prepping your resources, and whether or not you're looking to kind of like buy things like tickets for AQ. A lot of us, as I said, you know, we're planning, we're prepping for these particular things that are definite returns in the game. The whole kind of situation around this year does make me kind of quite nervous about saying what is a guaranteed event and what is not a guaranteed event. Like Deadpool Spring Cleaning, is that because it's got monetary aspects to it? Is that going to have something where it's going to continue on? You know, the way that free-to-play players were able to get a small amount of doubloons to get something, is that going to be something that's going to be removed next year? Likewise, when it comes to July 4th deals, I mean, look, let's face it, that's going to be a permanent type of event. But why does it have to be a permanent type of event, especially, again, looking at this situation? August Legends event. Is that always going to be there? Is that always going to be a thing? Are we always going to have halls of healing, halls of gold and stuff like that? November, December time, are we going to have a Cyber Weekend? Is that always a guaranteed thing? And with December, anniversary trade-in, is that going to be like always going to be there? The same thing with the Legends event where you're able to trade in health potions and revives, or is that going to change, be totally different? Not have those awakening gems, of course, as a trade-in option. But yeah, it just gives me a bit of an issue as to going, right, well, should I be careful with my hoarding? Should I not hoard in the future? It does put a lot of questions as to like what content I kind of make video wise as to preparing community on what I'm going to be preparing for as well when planning my resources for stuff like this. A further point to these kind of like guaranteed events is the weird situation around the gifting event. So the gifting event, which the community loved, they did love it, even though they had like all of those kind of like fraudulent things that happened. And yeah, it going is a good thing based on trying to tackle those particular issues. And I think it was, we estimated like Kabam lost about $5 million or something based on like, the fraudulent stuff. But any case, like people liked the event, and I think they liked it because we had stuff like the Greater Gifting Crystal and the spicy things you can get from it. So pulling that particular event was a problem, and the players were like, well, we're kind of sad about this. So what did Kabam do? Well, they listened to the community and kind of went, do you know what, we still want to continue doing something for the community? And they were like, right, well, you can have a Greater Gifting Crystal equivalent, which they said right here. I mean, they are still running the event to a small degree as to what you can trade, but the point is they are offering a similar caliber reward crystal, which is not giftable. Now, again, that's kind of weird because it's like, well, the community likes something, Kabam are rolling it back out again. Is this going to be a permanent type of event that's going to run? And also, will these crystals cost 300 units a piece, similar to how much the Greater Gifting Crystal cost? So there's a lot of questions that still remain about that. But and again, to come back to the point of this particular video, is that's something the player base wanted to see. They liked the event, but didn't like the fraudulent kind of like scuffy stuff. They also like the Greater Gifting Crystal. And it looked like they're going to get this kind of festive crystal equivalent. And again, it's kind of weird to talk about something last week which players were hoping to look forward to get and didn't get, the same way that they probably look forward to like awakening gems. And for me, like I've saved up awakening gems just in case it comes to a point of going, oh, we're close to December, there's a trade-in store, and I've got 11 5-star awakening gem crystals. But I guess that's kind of the wrong kind of thing. I should not look forward to these things as regular things, and they should be a case if they happen, they happen, but it looks like they're not happening in the future. So over this weekend, I've had some time to really kind of like think and digest. I've taken in on board like some criticisms kind of swayed towards me. And I do agree, like, and I apologize if anybody's thinking like I might have hyped up these particular events. And it's definitely something in the future I'm going to have to kind of like, again, as I said, look towards the guaranteed events as things to look forward to and prepare for. Like, well, I don't know about the Deadpool spring cleaning. I mean, look, Kabam going to get rid of July 4th deals. I doubt it. And the Cyber Weekend. So those two things at least I can bank on. And I guess what I have to do is kind of wait until things are announced first and hope that they are still the same as how they were last time. And it's a shame because like people look forward to spring cleaning and going, okay, well you get doubloons in that one, some free-to-play doubloons. They look at Day of the Deadpool now and go, well, the gold offers are not going to return ever again. And will other events change? Like, I don't want to hype up the December similar caliber Greater Gifting Crystal equivalent crystal and go, hey, by the way, this December we got it, next December we're not going to get it. But then I spend a whole year kind of putting together a grind package of how to get July 4th, Cyber Weekend, and save up for these particular crystals. So it's a problem for me when it comes to creating videos. Like, do I prepare my own? I'll be preparing my own non-spending resource grind, but do I then offer any kind of advice of like saying, well, I'm doing this, you could do this as well if you want. But I have to like do so many kind of disclaimers going, oh, by the way, this might not come back, expect the unexpected, which I say a lot nowadays for this. So it puts me in a bit of a quandary. And as I said, if people are looking for an apology from me for like hyping this, then I'm sorry for doing that. But at the same time, I have to prepare my roster, and also I'm making videos of my non-spending kind of preparation. So it's like a double-edged sword for me with this kind of thing, trying to guess if Kabam are going to do something, or if Kabam are not trying to do something. And as I said, for me, I try to thrive on regularity, like preparing my roster, planning my resources, and stuff like that. What I've done is I have given feedback to Kabam on these particular points raised, mainly because of, and as I said, the main point that I tried to get off on Friday and what I've been kind of like talking about is it's all about community. The community events that worked and players like to see returned. And it's like, well, look, it just would be nice to see these return at some point in time. It would be nice to have regularity. And as I said, like, it may be something that some players don't want to see coming back as a regular thing. Kabam may not like that idea because they're like, well, you know, we want to like create the excitement and surprise. And look, I get it. But then there's at times going, it would be nice to see stuff appear at regular points that you could prepare stuff for, especially for free to play. Free to play are looking for like so many different options to kind of elevate their roster, and they're not able to spend. Some people aren't able to warrant the cost of spending. How much was this like Deadpool thing? It was like 4, 5. Like the amount of money you have to spend to get some of these particular things in game nowadays is just, it's just obscene. And I've definitely kind of learnt that a lot more. Like 10 months now non-spending in Marvel Contest of Champions. And I'm not saying that like all of us should be non-spending, because that's not going to make the game kind of like financially viable and covered. Look at other games, mobile games that kind of like had to close down because they weren't making enough. But the point remains that it's like, this is a very spendy game, and when non-spending free-to-play players are looking to find like options to, as I said, elevate their roster and compete with other people, where prestige and getting new champions becomes a problematic thing of a divide between those that heavily spend and those that don't, it is these little pockets of release of enjoyment and a nice kind of like event to see come in once in a while, where you can just make a small amount of gains. It's not like massive, and look, the last gold offer wasn't exactly kind of like going, even if they ran the same thing this year, it wouldn't be ridiculously game breaking, but still it was enough to kind of like excite players and make them go, oh, I could prepare for this, get something and be like, this is a nice exciting thing, well done Kabam. And a lot of the time I feel like we're kind of going away from saying well done Kabam, or, you know, great event Kabam. And Kabam do great things. I'm not saying that they do bad things all the time. Any work that Kabam Zero has been doing at the moment has been exceptional. Some of the best stuff has come into this game. And there's been some nice little events here and there. EOP has been fantastic. But then there's these other little things. Like, not everybody can do EOP. That's a Thronebreaker thing. It's not Cavalier and below. So, I don't know. As I said, for me, looking at this, it's just nice to see these things to look forward to, which I said in the video on last week, and at the same time, like prep your roster for, prep resources for. But if Kabam aren't going to do these things on a regular basis, then, as I said, for me, hoarding becomes a very difficult, not difficult, a very different thing. Like, I won't hoard. Fine, I won't hoard gold, I won't hoard this, I won't hoard that, these particular items which I think could be traded in some particular thing. Even kind of going like, right, well, if I get some revives and health potions, am I going to get a Legends event to trade in? So yeah, community positivity around stuff is important, and just would be nice to see that Kabam will go, look, we've planned out some events for the foreseeable year, or these are regularly returning events that we know about. But yeah, difficult situation, lots of different feelings and thoughts on the particular matter. Community feedback, I think, is important. I think Kabam needs to take the forum thread that's up, seriously. Think about 2023 a bit more. Think about, like, what events they want to run back in again. And at the same time, I will expect the unexpected from now on. And I think I'll be very careful as to like what I kind of say. Look, let's save for this because this may be coming. And I'll just be like, well, right, well, all we got is Cyber Weekend, Legends events, anniversary. Well, I'm not even gonna do anniversary trading really. I can't trust that. July 4th deal, Cyber Weekend, and Legends event. And apart from that, I'm gonna go expected totally with everything now, and I'll try not to look forward to stuff, which is kind of a bad thing. But look, it is what it is with this game and the developer that's behind it. But in case that was the video, I just wanted to make a video on those particular points. I don't know if this has gone a little bit longer than normal. I'll try and edit it down the best I can, but I do want to keep these points in as much as possible. And very, very different of opinions on the matter of it, but I know that a lot of people were looking forward to something like that, and that's kind of like it, really. In any case, that's been the video. I'm going to continue on with other content that covers different things, unless Kabam respond against this, which I don't think they will. Check out some other content located on the screen right now, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.